What's going on, my people? How's everybody doing today? I hope y'all are doing great. Listen, I look a little crazy. Disregard my redness. We were in Destin this past weekend. I look like Red Lobster's mascot, but it's all good. I had a great time. So I want to come out today and just say I got some good news for you sole proprietors. Guess what? You can establish business credit as well. Yes, all those videos out there that say only you got to be an LLC or you got to be a corporation to establish business credit, it's not 100% true. You can establish business credit as a sole proprietor. That means that you can have accounts that do not report to your personal credit report. Let me make it very clear. That's what that means. You can have accounts that do not report to your personal credit report as a sole proprietor. How do you do that? Well, very easy, believe it or not. So, check this out. Now, as a sole proprietor, that means that you're in business under your own name, your own social security number. Just it's your business is you, right? So you can probably run it through your personal account. So you got all your stuff mingled together. Your personal and your business stuff is all mingled together, and that's pretty much the majority of businesses in our nation right now. That's how they're established. Well, you have the opportunity as a sole proprietor to set yourself up so that you can get credit under your business separated from your personal profiles, your personal credit, and everything. Now, how do you do that? So, first step, as a sole proprietor, what you want to do is create what's called a DBA for your business. And a DBA stands for doing business as. Now, how do you establish a DBA? Let me give you an example first, right? I'm a sole proprietor. The name of my business is John Crespo. It's under my social security number. I'm doing business under my name. I'm selling some clothes, and I'm just selling it under John Crespo. So everything is flowing through my personal account, right? There's no separation between business and personal here. No separation at all. But I figure, you know what? It's time to kind of separate my life from my business because I'm selling a lot of clothes. But I don't necessarily want to be an LLC. I don't necessarily want to be a corporation. I want to continue the easiness of what I'm doing right now and just continue on. But I want to kind of separate stuff. So I want to start getting some accounts established. Here's how I do it, right? I create what's called a DBA. Now, the DBA stands for doing business as. So I would say, my business is John Crespo. And then my DBA, my doing business as, is called Puerto Rican attire. It's the Puerto Rican parade season. So I'm utilizing that. So why not? Because I'm Puerto Rican. So here we go. You got John Crespo. John Crespo's business is now doing business as Puerto Rican attire, right? I can create that with my state's Secretary of State website. Now, when I go to that website, they may call it a fictitious name certificate. So I would file for a fictitious name certificate, which stands for the same thing as DBA, right? And I would say, my business, John Crespo, is doing business as Puerto Rican attire in the state of Tennessee where I live. That will now start separating my personal and business life. Because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the irs.gov website and create a tax ID for my business, which is totally free. You go to irs.gov and you create a tax ID for your business. So now I have a tax ID. I have a doing business as name, right? What can I do with that? I can go and I can establish a business bank account. So I want to establish a separate account from my personal accounts. So, and it's a business account that I'm going to establish. I'm going to go to my bank or my credit union. I'm going to say, I need to open a business bank account. Here's my doing business as certificate or fictitious name certificate. Here's my tax ID. open the account for me, right? Now, I have my business bank account. I have my personal bank account. All my business transactions, I now am going to move into my business bank account. And I leave my personal transactions on my personal side. Now that I have that set up, I can start applying for credit under my business. But I have to make sure that my personal credit is good. So if my personal credit is jacked up, I think the first thing I want to do is make sure that that's fixed up. Start fixing up your personal credit. Because as a sole proprietor, even though you have a tax ID number and a DBA, you still have to personally guarantee the loan products that you get. But you can start getting credit cards and getting those vendor accounts and everything that do not report to your personal credit. So now you're really able to separate the two. So if you want to learn more about that, reach out to me. It's very easy. You can, as a sole proprietor, establish business credit that's separate from your personal. Have a great one, guys.